Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 27th January 2022. So our analysis, which will be going in this order. First, we are going to see brief introduction regarding the topics, and later on we are going to see one quote, and after that we are going to see editorials, okay, along with pictures, and later on we are going to see some important articles of that day. And finally, we are going to discuss explanation part of yesterday's questions, and finally, I will be giving you today's practice questions. So I want to get some small suggestion from you people, whether should I share the questions that I am asking in this today's lecture, can I share that in YouTube community as well? So because it will be helpful for reaching a wide range of people. Okay, so please give me your suggestion in comment box. So now let us try to see brief introduction regarding the topics. Now we are going to have our discussion. So first topic, it is regarding unlock India's food processing potential. As you all know that food processing industry which is having a great potential, but we are not using much because of some challenges that are mainly facing by this MSME, that is micro, small and medium enterprises. So in this video, we are going to discuss about what is the potential of this food processing industry, and what are the challenges that are facing by these MSME industries, and what is the way forward. So here we are going to discuss about two important credit mechanisms for this MSMEs. First one is peer-to-peer financing. Next one is we are going to talk about the streets. Okay, so this is important from your economy. And next topic, it is regarding keeping faith. So this article which is mainly talking about India-Pakistan relations. Okay. So from last 5 years onwards, the relationship between India and Pakistan is all-time low because of terrorist attacks, because of Pulwama attack, like that. So there is one small sign of good relations that we are going to have, especially in this pilgrimage thing. That is the thing which mainly discussed in this article. That is important from our international relations. And next topic, it is about taxing drama. So this article which is mainly talking about is retrospective tax. Okay, already this issue we have been discussing from 2021 August onwards. So again, let us have a small revision because this topic is at most important from your economy. And next topic is about India slams Pakistan at UN Security Council, that is United Nations Security Council. Okay, so this article, it is important from our international relations. And next topic, it is regarding INS Kukri. Okay, INS Kukri. So actually this, after decommission of this INS Kukri in December, so now it is going to be converted to museum. So this is important from our defense point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is regarding Central Asia Summit. Okay, and this topic is important regarding international relations. Here you need to know which are these Central Asian countries and what is the importance of this summit. Okay, and this article which also gave an opportunity to even discuss about this Central Asian dialogue that held recently. Apart from this, we are going to see gist of 3 other articles which appeared in this today's newspaper. So now let us see our quote. So quote here is, the unexamined life is not worth living. Okay, so this is the quote which is given by Socrates. So yesterday in comment box, one student asked me to discuss this philosophical quotes as well, because many of students who have gone through this 2021 essay paper, they might know about importance of this philosophical essays, because 8 of those essays are philosophical and many students, they worried about these essays. So in this series of this current affairs, we are also going to see this philosophical essays related quotes as well. So if you're talking about this quote, what is the meaning of this quote according to Socrates? Socrates mainly says that unexamined life is not worth living. Okay, Socrates mainly focusing on, we must reflect on the life we live. Okay, we must reflect on the life we live. So if you're talking about this quote, here Socrates mainly focusing on understanding your life. Okay, understanding your life. You need to examine your own beliefs. You need to know yourself. Actually, this quote, it is very much relevant from the students who are preparing for this competitive examinations, because knowing yourself is very, very important, right? So you need to know which are your strengths and which are your weaknesses. So if you know about your strengths and weaknesses, you will be working more on your weaknesses to overcome the challenges regarding clearing of exams. So always I will be constantly saying that. So not only writing test series is important, but after writing test series, you need to go for analysis. Okay, analysis regarding how many questions you made correct, how many of your questions that you went for guesses is correct. Okay, whether you are lagging in revision, whether you are lagging in your memory. So that thing that you need to know, and this quote is very much relevant. Socrates mainly felt so passionately about the value of self-examination. Okay, self-examination is a very, very important, and not only he is focusing on self-examinations, he is also focusing on one's belief, okay, and as well as one's values, right? So this is the explanation of this quote. So now let us try to see first topic. So if you're talking about title says that unlock India's food processing potential. It is about India's food processing potential. So actually, so I will be giving you like how this food processing is important, and you can also connect this topic with doubling of farmers' income as well. For example, if I am a farmer, in my farm I am getting like 10 bags of tomato. So in my farm I am getting 10 bags of tomato. But if you're talking about price of tomato, one day it will be like 80 rupees, one day 120 rupees, and one day it will be like less than 10 rupees, and it will be between 20 to 30 rupees. So there is uncertainty of prices that is mainly seen. For example, if in the market the price of this tomato, it is rupees 100, that we saw in recent last 2 months, we saw the tomato prices rupees 100. So because of that, I will be thinking like, yes, tomato has a good price in market, I have to go for sowing of tomato. So after whenever this tomato which is coming into my hands, suddenly I can see like there is price fluctuations, and suddenly the price of tomato is mainly decreased, means I will be incurring losses. So here if you are taking about one more example, for example, let us take 1 kg of tomato rupees. Here it is 20 rupees in market. If you're converting the same tomatoes, same 1 kg of tomatoes into tomato sauce or ketchup that you used to have when you're taking burgers, pizzas, egg puff, chicken puff, like that, right? So if I am going for converting of this same 1 kg tomato into this tomato ketchup, and if I am going for selling that tomato ketchup in the market, then I will be getting more than rupees 100, right? So because of this, it will be also helpful in increasing the farmer's income. So this is the one important idea. And second one here is, for example, like me, there are many farmers, they went for growing of tomato. They thought that they will be getting good profits, so that they went for growing of tomato. Because of this, there is a lot of tomato production that is seen and because of that, there is lot of tomato that entered into this vegetable markets. So because of large number of tomatoes which are mainly entered into market, means what happened? So there will be the increasing of wastage as well. So mainly to decrease this wastage, we can go for food processing. So whenever we are going for food processing, then we can also see there will be the no price fluctuations in the market, and we can also increase the shelf life of that vegetables. So this is a second important idea regarding this food processing. So now let us try to talk about what author want to say here. So here author mainly starts this article with this India's food processing potential. So how much potential that we can see in this India's food processing units. So this is the image I got from Google, and here we can see these are the different units of food processing that we can see. Here if you see wheat can be converted into biscuits, bread, etc. And even I want to give you one more example here. So I think you might have had a popcorn, right? So before converting that seeds into popcorn, if farmers is going for selling of that corn in the market, he will be getting like 5 rupees or 6 rupees for one corn, right? And if you are going for converting of that corn into popcorn, and if you are selling that popcorn, means you will be getting 20 rupees, right? So in this way we can also increase our income from this food processing, right? So as actually I was specially interested with this food processing because I'm also from farmers family. So I know about what are the uncertainties that we are facing during this during harvesting period and pre-harvesting and post-harvesting period. So that I especially interested in this food processing. So I'm explaining some basic examples here so that you can also understand the concept, because many of you might be from rich families and you might have not known about so what are the problems faced by these farmers. So mainly especially to connect you with these farmers, because without farmers we do not get the food. So I am giving this example such that you can understand what is the potential of this food processing. Okay, why we need to invest in this food processing. Okay, so if you're talking about food, it is one of the connecting factor which is mainly tied with our communities, traditions and our past and even our future. Without food we do not have any future, right? So because of this, what happened, on one side there is increasing of population, so because of increasing of population, we are facing the challenge of feeding of this 10 billion population by mid-century. So because of this, we need to decrease the wastage of food and we need to preserve that food for our future generations, right? So here in this preserving of food, so now we are having good technologies, right? So good technologies, and we can go for economically viable and as well as ecological sustainable methods, especially regarding this food processing. So regarding this food processing, government is also mainly focusing on this food processing, and it is also coming up with a number of schemes for promotion of this food processing. For example, recently cabinet approved this production linked intensive scheme for this food processing industries as well, because as you all know, India is one of the largest producer of fruits and as well as vegetables in the world. So because of this, we need to boost this processed food in the large quantities such that it will be helpful mainly to feed number of people. Okay, so here if you're talking about what is this PLI, production linked intensive scheme. So this scheme says that whenever you are increasing production, then you will be getting some benefits from the government. So this is the basic idea regarding production linked intensive scheme. So here if you see this infographic, it mainly says that cabinet approves production linked incentive scheme for 10 key sectors including even food processing sector. So what are the important objectives regarding this extension of this scheme for this food processing sector? So if you are talking about what will be the key highlights, first one here is whenever government which is providing some incentives, that is benefits, means that will helpful in the boosting of this manufacturing capabilities of so and so unit, right? And next one is there will be also growth in production and as well as exports. Whenever there is increasing manufacturing, means we can also go for increasing of our exports, and it will be also helpful for integration of global supply chains, and even it will be providing some capabilities and opportunities for innovations as well. So whenever we are starting that business, means we will be getting new ideas and we can incorporate new technologies and we can move towards great innovations. And next one is that will be also helpful in establishing of backward linkages with MSME sectors. Already you know that because of this COVID-19 pandemic and even before this COVID-19 pandemic, so micro, small and medium enterprises, they are mainly facing many issues, and these issues can be addressed by the scheme, and we can also attract investments and we can also enhance our exports to other countries. Finally, that will lead to increasing of our economic growth, and that will be leads to revival of our economic growth, and as well as that will lead to creation of employment opportunities as well. So these are some basic idea regarding this extension of production linked incentive scheme for this food processing industries. And now let us try to see what is the progress that is seen in this food processing industry so far. So if you are talking about what is the progress, a sum of rupees 10,900 crore has been earmarked for the scheme to the date, and about 60 applicants they have already been selected for this category 1 food processing industry units. Okay, And whenever we are providing some incentives for this food processing units, then that will be helpful for incremental scales, and as well as it will be helpful for branding or marketing initiatives. Then that can be taken to abroad, such that it will be also boost our exports. So whenever exports are increasing, we can go for revival of our economic growth. And if you're talking about some data which is given in this article regarding this food processing sector. So recently one study which done in US, it mainly says that whenever there is 1% increase in public infrastructure, and that will lead to increasing of this food manufacturing output of 0.06% in longer run. That means whenever we are going for investing in this food processing sector, that will also leads to increasing of food manufacturing output. So whenever there is 1% increasing of infrastructure, that will lead to 0.06% of increasing of output from this food manufacturing industries. So in this way here, we can also connect this study with even India as well. So whenever we are doing investments in this food processing sector, especially some states like Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and UP, they are mainly going for investing in this food processing, such that actually these states are also performing very much good in this good governance index 2021 as well. Okay, so in this way that will be helpful in higher improvement in the governance, that will be helpful for contributing of their state economy as well. And apart from this, even when we are focusing on this investment in this food processing sector, that will also helpful to increase our exports, right? It will also increase our sales volume, and finally that will also increase our profitability as well. So because of this, recently our cabinet approved this PLI scheme for 13 sectors, which mainly includes food processing sector as well, right? So in this PLI scheme, they are mainly focusing on supporting of branding. So for any market, if we want to sell any product, we need a brand. Brand is very important. For example, if you want to start any business, the logo is very, very important. So apart from that logo, if you are talking about any movies, okay, for movies, a poster is a very, very important. Like that, if you want to sell your products in the market, so we need to have a separate brand. So brand, it is a very important. So brand is a very important because it will be very much helpful in the marketing activities. So whenever your brand which has got popularity, means there will be increasing of your sales and there will be increasing of profitability as well. So in this PLI scheme, they are mainly focusing on supporting branding and marketing activities in these foreign markets. Okay, so in this way, whenever government is supporting, then that will be helpful for increasing of your export basket as well. Okay, and we can tap untapped markets even in Europe, Middle East, West Asia, Africa, Australia, Japan, etc. So this is about this thing. And if you're talking about what are the problems you're mainly facing by this MSME sector, so MSME, that is micro, small, medium enterprises, they are mainly facing a problem regarding credit. Okay, so here if you see this image, it is regarding you might have getting some idea regarding what you have ordered during this COVID-19 pandemic time, right? So in this COVID-19 pandemic time, and because of this lockdown, so many of you might have used this home delivery apps and digital media to order your groceries and some instant food items like that. I think so. Even we also in our family also went for ordering of goods online. Okay, so what happened recently? Recently, because of entry of this novel coronavirus pandemic, the past 2 years, it mainly witnessed that a significant number of people who are working from home. So because of that, they didn't have the time to go outside to get their groceries and some items. So because of this, they mainly ordered ready to eat materials from the market by using some online platforms. So recent study says that there is approximately 170% of increasing of sales between March to June 2020. That means there is increase in the demand for this processed food items, that is ready to eat items. So but one problem which is mainly faced by this micro, small and medium enterprises is finance. Finance, it is one of the perennial problem that is mainly faced, okay, by this MSME. So what is the need? How can we address this challenge of these finances for this MSME sector? So especially for this MSME sector, there are two important solutions which are mainly given in this article. So first one, it is peer-to-peer lending. Okay, so we can address these challenges of these credits for this MSME by using this smart financing alternatives, that is peer-to-peer lending. So peer-to-peer lending which hold a good potential for micro food processor, which mainly absorbed by UK government. So what is this peer-to-peer lending? So if you are talking about this image, then you can easily understand what is this peer-to-peer lending. So here we have lenders will be there, and here we have borrowers will be there, and here we have peer-to-peer lending platform. So what happened here? Here there is a platform. For example, I am a owner of MSME company. So because of this COVID-19 pandemic, for example, I am a company, so I am the owner of company, and I will be producing ready to eat food items. For example, I am preparing potato chips, for example. Okay, so for example, I am owner of this potato chips company. So because of this COVID-19, there is increase in the orders for this potato chips company, for my company. But what are the investment that is present with me? I can prepare only 100 packets of potato chips, but there are orders for 1000 potato chips. For whenever I want to go for increasing of manufacturing of this potato chips, I will need more investment, but I do not have proper investment. So because of this, I will be going to this peer-to-peer lending platform. For example, before going into this peer-to-peer lending platform, if I am going to bank with documents to get some business loan, so the paperwork will be hefty and it will take some time. So I can't wait till that time. I will get the loan from the banks, because already orders are there. So whenever I am not getting proper investment means, so the orders will be delayed, and finally the productivity of my company will be decreased. So I do not want that. So I will be reaching this peer-to-peer lending platform. In this platform, lenders will be there and buyers will be there. So lenders, they will be giving money, but they will ask some interest. So I am the borrower, I will be going to this peer-to-peer lending platform, and I will be applying for so and so amount as investment, and I will be taking this investment from this lender, and I will be paying some certain interest rate. Okay, and we will be having some agreement between lenders and as well as borrowers. So this is like peer-to-peer lending, right? And this is one alternative. So apart from this, there is also one alternative, that is trades. Okay, so what is this trades? So to understand this trade, I will explain you one hypothetical example such that you can understand what is this trades platform. For example, I am the supplier. There is one buyer. Okay, buyer is there and supplier is there. So I will be supplying goods to this buyer. Okay, I am the supplier, I will be supplying the goods to this buyer, and this buyer will be paying money return for that goods. For example, if I am selling the goods and if buyer he is paying rupee means, it will be good. So I will be having no losses and I will be very much happy. But what happens? It will be not happens in all the cases. So buyer will be taking the goods, but he will be not paying the money instantly. Okay, he will be giving me the bill such that with a time limit. So with time limit, he will be giving the bill, or he will say that I will be paying so and so half amount, and remaining half amount will be paying after so and so time. Then what happened? Because of increasing of orders for me, I need more investment. Okay, if this buyer who is not giving me the money means, how can I get the money to go for production? I cannot go for production. So whatever the money I have, I invested in manufacturing of these goods and I sell these goods to buyer, but this buyer who mainly gave the bill, and he gave that bill with a time limit. So if I wait for that time limit means, it will be incurring losses to me. I can't go for further production. So because of this, the productivity of my company will be decreasing. So what happened? Because of this, I am going for discounting of trade. Okay, I am going for discounting of trade. So what is this discounting of trade? So the bill which is given by this buyer, I am taking that bill and I will be going to investor. I will be going to investor and I will give that bill to investor. Okay, and what this investor will do, investor will return the money which is present on that bill. For example, let us take I supplied goods to buyer and buyer need to pay 100 rupees for me. So instead of paying this 100 rupees, he gave a bill with time limit, and I am taking that bill and I am going to investor and I am keeping the bill with this investor. An investor will give me some money like 95 rupees. He says that he will be giving 95 rupees to me and 5% will be the charges of that investor. And after that time limit, though, so that 100 rupees will be collected by investor from this buyer. So for this we need a platform. That platform is called as trades. In this trades platform we will be having suppliers, we will be having buyers, and we will be having investors. So this is this about this trades. And if you see this diagram, then you can understand now. So supplier will be supplying goods for this buyers. Okay, he will be getting invoice. So he will be issuing invoice. After issuing this invoice, this buyer will be approving that invoice. And I am taking that invoice and I am going to this lender or investor or financer. Okay, and after that, here this lender will be approve the finance and he will be giving money for the supplier, and he will be cutting some amount as interest or tax or charges. And later on, this lender will go to this buyer and he will collect this amount. So this mechanism or this platform where we can see number of suppliers, number of buyers are mainly seen. So this is called as trades platform, and this will be beneficial for supplier because supplier will get money. He need not wait till that time limit, and buyers, they will be paying that money within that time limit, and lenders, they will be also getting some profit. So this platform is called as trades, right? If you're talking about a sustainable food ecosystem, because of growing of population, because of changing of food habits, yes, if you see in your family itself, what about the food that taken by your grandparents, your mothers, and now you. So there is a changing of food habits that's happening. So because of this, we are going for unrestricted use of natural resources. So because of this, here nations, they need to come together and they need to lay a roadmap for common efficient food chain. Okay, so here we can go for updating our food processing industry such that it is having a great potential, right? So this is the gist of this topic. And now let us try to say next topic. It is regarding keeping faith. So this is about India-Pakistan relations. Actually, this article which is in news because one good step regarding this pilgrims of both the countries, that is mainly seen. So there is a one important proposal from Pakistan Hindu Council, okay, regarding this pilgrims. So it is one of the forward step that I can say regarding this India-Pakistan relations. So this article, it is important from international relations, which mainly comes under our GS paper 2. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you're talking about central theme, it mainly says that people to people initiatives can help build goodwill between India and Pakistan. It is talking about people to people initiatives. They can build goodwill between India and Pakistan. So if you see this image I got from Google, it is about India and Pakistan relation. So if I keep as many images as possible, that will be helpful for your pictographical memory as well, because some students, they will be having more pictographic memory, and these images, that will be very much helpful to write your mains answer as well, because one image or one diagram is equal to the 1000 words. So you can express your feelings in diagram such that you can also save your time and you can also save your words. So try to focus on drawing images, and you can come up with different flow charts, different hub and spoke diagrams. That will be very helpful for your exam. Please mind my words. Okay, so now let us try to talk about this topic. So what happened regarding India and Pakistan exchanges? They are suspended. Okay, so there is an all-time low relation between India and Pakistan that we can see from last 5 years. So now in this critical condition, now we came up with a simple proposal by Pakistan Hindu Council. Okay, it mainly forwarded Pakistan to India to allow pilgrims, okay, to allow pilgrims of both countries, they can travel by air to avoid cumbersome journeys seems a leap. So what happened? So here, if you're talking about India here, and we have Pakistan here. So in Pakistan, most of the people will be Muslims. Okay, and we can also see some portions of some people of Hindus also seen. And if you're talking about India, we are having a multi-diverse country, and we can see different religious people are living together. Already you know that. So here in Pakistan we have some pilgrimage sites, and India we have some pilgrimage sites. So the pilgrims, the people who want to visit these pilgrimages, so they need to cross this border. Okay, so what happened here recently, here Pakistan Hindu Council, which mainly forwarded one proposal that to allow pilgrims of both countries to travel air, such that they can avoid some cumbersome journeys. Whenever they want to go by trucks or trains, it is a cumbersome journey, so they can use this air travel. So Islamabad Delhi ties are now possibly at their worst ever peace times. Okay, and there is no proper political dialogue, there is no proper bilateral or multilateral level talks for last 5 years. So because of some terror attacks, India stopped normal communications, India stopped cultural exchanges after government moves, that is after this revocation of Article 370 of Indian Constitution regarding Jammu and Kashmir. So both the sides, there is a downsiding of diplomatic missions, diplomatic relations, that is mainly seen. And because of this COVID-19 pandemic, which mainly led to that borders are mainly virtually sealed for 2 years, and there are very less direct operating routes between these two countries, and even pilgrims between these two countries have been cancelled. Okay, and even if you're talking about this Kartarpur corridor, okay, Kartarpur corridor that came up in 2019. So the same year, two countries, they went to war over this Pulwama attack, and we also saw that reiterated Balkot attacks as well. And what happened, if you're talking about religious exchanges between India and Pakistan, so for example Hindu, Sikhs and Muslims, so these religious exchanges that are mainly governed by the protocol, and this protocol was signed in 1974. So if we're talking about Sikh pilgrims and Indian from Indian Punjab to Pakistani Punjab province, they will be going very easily, because the distance is very less. And hundreds of Indian and Pakistani pilgrims who are mainly crossing over this Wagah border, mainly to travel further to Hinj Laj Mata temple in Balochistan, and Paramhans Mandir in Khyber, and Ajmer Sharif Dargah in Rajasthan, and Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi. So these are the important pilgrimage places which are mainly visited by Pakistanis and as well as Indian people. For example, why you need to remember these places? Because in prelims you can get a question like match the following. So you can get a question like Hinj Laj Mata temple, where it is located, like Balochistan, Pakistan, like that. You can get this type of match the following. So Hinj Laj Mata Mandir in Balochistan, and Paramhans Mandir in Khyber, and Ajmer Sharif Dargah in Rajasthan, Nizamuddin Aulia in Delhi. Okay, so these are some important shrines or pilgrimage centers. To avoid the extra time in travel, Pakistan Hindu Council, which mainly now signed Memorandum of Understanding with Pakistan International Airlines to facilitate faith-based tour groups. So we can go for faith-based tour groups. And as well as, so this Pakistan Hindu Council, which mainly asked this Pakistan International Airlines, airline charters from Karachi and Lahore be allowed to fly directly to Indian cities this week. Okay, and in return the reciprocal air charters from India will be also allowed. So this is for the first time such type of air travel has been taken place in years. Okay, so in this way, people to people contact initiatives, they will be build goodwill and as well as good relationship between India and Pakistan. So this is gist of this topic. Now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding taxing drama. So actually this article which is talking about retrospective tax. So here you need to know about what is this retrospective tax and what is the issue regarding this green energy, and you need to know about what is the recent amendment regarding this retrospective tax. So that will be very important from your mains point of view especially, and this article will be important from your economy, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you're talking about central theme, it mainly says that The center must conclude. The center must conclude this retroactive tax disputes and ensure policy predictability. So here we need to, so what are the issues that we had regarding this green energy that need to be settled, and even we need to ensure policy predictability. So this image which is mainly talking about retrospective tax, here we have Ministry of Finance, right? So in this retrospective tax, it is a combination of two words. First one is retrospective here, second one is tax. So you already know about this tax. There is no need of explaining about this tax, right? So if you're talking about what is this retrospective, so retrospective means nothing but taking effect from the date in the past. We are mainly moving towards past and we are implementing from past. So this is retrospective. So what is the meaning of this retrospective tax? So this retrospective tax, which mainly means creating an additional charge or levy of tax by way of an amendment. By way of an amendment, we are going for creating additional charge or levy of tax from a specified date in the past. So this is meaning of this retrospective tax. For example, whenever we are coming up with changes in 2022, and I can say that it will be effect from 2012 onwards. So it is mainly coming into effect from 2012. So this type of implementation is called as retrospective. So now let us try to understand what is this retrospective tax dispute. So this is the one infographic I collected from this Times of India. Okay. So this is talking about timeline, what happened. So in 2004-2007, crane discovers oil in Rajasthan. Okay. Crane discovers oil in Rajasthan. And in 2011, Vedanta completes acquisition of about 85.5% in this Crane India from Crane Energy. Okay. Vedanta completes acquisition of about 58.5 in Crane India from Crane Energy. So in 2012, Supreme Court rules in the favor of Vodafone and as well as IT case. So regarding this Vodafone and IT case also, it is mainly in favor. So but in 2012 March, government introduced this retrospective tax amendments to tax laws. So because of this, what happened because of this retrospective tax laws? So it mainly asked these companies to pay the tax to India. So in January 2014, Tax Department begins the probe on transactions related to asset transfer from 2006 onwards. So later on in 2015, Crane Energy initiates international arbitration on case. And in this case here, Crane Energy mainly wins. That is the ruling which is mainly came in favor of this Crane Energy. And India in 2021 March, India files appeal against this verdict. So later on, India came up with some changes. For example, India came up with the Taxation Laws Amendment Bill 2021 in Lok Sabha. And this bill mainly seeks to withdraw tax demands made using a 2012 retrospective tax legislation regarding indirect transfer of Indian assets. Okay. So if you're talking about what are the changes regarding this bill, so first one here is, so it came up with amendments to this Income Tax Act and Finance Act of 2012, and it mainly says that there is no tax demand shall be raised for any indirect transfer of Indian assets which happened before 2012. So which happens before 2012, there will be no tax demand. So what are the tax which is raised for this indirect transfer of this Indian assets before this 2012, that will be nullified. Okay, that will be nullified. And they need to go for withdrawal of this pending litigation. And if the amount which is recovered, so that amount will be refunded for the companies without any interest. So these are some important proposed legislations or proposed changes in the bill. And this article says that we need to come up with this settlement as soon as possible, and we need to come up with a stable policy. So this is the gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding India slams Pakistan at United Nations Security Council. So actually there is one summit which is mainly going on, that is regarding an open debate. UNSC open debate on protection of civilians in armed conflict, war in cities, protection of civilians in urban settings. So this open debate which is going on. So in this open debate, India mainly slams Pakistan in this United Nations Security Council. So this article, it is important from your international relations, which mainly comes under your GS paper 2. And now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if we are talking about context, it mainly says that perpetrators of heinous 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks continue to enjoy Pakistan's patronage, India has told United Nations Security Council. So in this open debate, India told United Nations Security Council that, so who are the perpetrators? That means who are the people who involved in this heinous 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks? They are mainly enjoying this Pakistan's patronage. So this is a thing which mainly said by India in this United Nations Security Council. So we're talking about details. It mainly says that the most of these terrorist attacks around the world, okay, so most of these terror attacks around the world have their origin in some form or the other in that country, okay. So the people who are the terrorists, who mainly involved in that terror attacks, they had their origin some or other form from this Pakistan, and India hit back that Pakistan's after Islamabad's envoy to this United Nations, Munir Akram, he brought issue regarding this Jammu and Kashmir during this open debate. So during this open debate from Pakistan, United Nations envoy Munir Akram, he mainly talked about revocation of this Article 370 in this Jammu and Kashmir. So because of this, there are some important statements which were mainly made by India. So if you see this image, you might have getting some remembrance or memory regarding this Mumbai attack. Actually, it is Taj Hotel where the terrorist attack that mainly happened, and that led to destroy, or some part of this hotel had been destroyed, okay, and it is one of the worst terror attack that mainly seen. So India mainly sought for justice for this 1971 genocide, that is in Pakistan war. It is not India Pakistan especially, we can say it is like Bangladesh Liberation War. And even India sought justice for this 26/11 Mumbai attacks as well. And India also condemned resurgence of armed conflicts that mainly causes some devastating loss of human lives and also damage the critical civilian infrastructure, that is hotels. And there is also risk that the security of armed forces are mainly faced. And India also reminded that United Nations Security Council about terrorist attack that carried out in Mumbai in 2008, and that also killed about 166 civilians and 15 nationalities, etc. And India also said that we are already witnessing the effect of urban warfare and terrorist attacks in cities, and recently in Hyderabad, in Gokul Chat, in Lumini Park. So there are many attacks that mainly happen. So according to Secretary General report, there are more than 50 million people they were affected by the conflict in urban areas as well. So these are some details that I didn't find in today's Hindu, but I collected from the Times of India of today's newspaper. And if you see this logo, it is the logo of United Nations Security Council, right? So now let us try to see some facts regarding this United Nations Security Council. So this United Nations Security Council, which was established by United Nations Charter in 1945. So it was established in 1945, and it is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations. And if you're talking about other 5 important United Nations organs, they include General Assembly, United Nations General Assembly, we have Trusteeship Council, we have Economic and Social Council, we have ICJ, International Court of Justice, and we have Secretariat. Okay, the important and primary responsibility of this United Nations Security Council, it is to maintain international peace and as well as security, and headquarters located at New York. So if we're talking about members, there are 15 members already, you know, and out of these 15 members we have 5 permanent members and we have 10 non-permanent members. And which are those 5 permanent members? They include US, Russia, France, China and UK. They have veto powers. And if you're talking about these non-permanent members, they have the membership or the tenure for 2 years. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding INS Kukri. So this is the image of this INS Kukri. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So this topic, it is important from your prelims. So now let us try to see context. So you already know that this INS Kukri, it is a lead ship in our Indian Navy. Okay, Indian Navy's Kukri's class missile coverts. So this had been decommissioned recently in December, and after decommissioning, so this Kukri mainly handed over to DU administration to convert it into a museum. So this is the image of this INS Kukri. So if you see background, actually this is India's first indigenous built missile coverts, and this INS Kukri was decommissioned after 32 years of service, and that held on 24th December 2021. So if we're talking about highlights of this Kukri, so this Kukri was built by Megazone Dock Shipbuilders on August 23, 1989. It did about 32 years of service, and it is mainly been the part of Western and as well as Eastern fleets. Okay, and it mainly traveled distance of about 6,44,897 nautical miles. Okay, it is like navigating across the world about 30 times or 3 times the distance between the moon and as well as earth. Okay, so this is about this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Central Asia Summit. So PM to hold Central Asia Summit today. So here you need to know about which are these Central Asian countries. So what is the significance of this summit, right? So this article, it is important from our international relations, which mainly comes in a GS paper too. Actually recently after this Taliban taken over the country of Afghanistan, we are mainly focusing on the Central Asian countries. So Central Asian countries are very much important for the stability of Afghanistan, and because of this Taliban who took control of this Kabul, then there is also some security issues that are mainly posed regarding India as well. So to mainly counter those challenges, we need to have good relationship with these Central Asian countries. So now let us try to talk about context. Our Prime Minister, he will hold first India Central Asia Summit. Okay, he will holding this first India Central Asian Summit through video conference, and this conference with 5 presidents of these 5 Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. So if we're talking about this Central Asian Summit, if you see this image, so these are the Central Asian countries, and you have to know the map for sure. Here we have Kazakhstan, below this Kazakhstan we have Uzbekistan, here we have Kyrgyzstan, here we have Tajikistan and Turkmenistan. Okay, so this is very important. So if you're talking about clockwise manner, we have Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. So you can also remember these countries in this clockwise and anti-clockwise manner as well. So now let us try to talk about details regarding this summit. So this is the first India Central Asian Summit, and this summit being held virtually. So in this summit, India has been planning to hold the summit since our Modi ji visit to these Central Asian countries that was done in 2015. And in this summit, they are going to exchange their views regarding international and as well as regional issues. And they are also mainly focusing on security issues as well. So if we're talking about what is significance, so if you're talking about these countries, they are sharing boundary with Afghanistan. So Afghanistan, which is under control of Taliban now. So actually you know that in Afghanistan, India invested a lot regarding developmental projects, and those developmental projects are incomplete because of Taliban's emergence in Afghanistan. And even Indian investments made this development projects in this Afghanistan in vain. So for that, we need help from the Central Asian countries. And if you're talking about Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, they also share boundary with China. So if you see this map, you can see here, okay, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, they are sharing boundary with this China. So with this China, we are also facing a boundary issue, and we are facing this military standoff in this LAC region, line of actual control region, since 2020 May onwards. So because of this, so these countries will be very much helpful for issues regarding boundary, okay, regarding China as well. So if you're talking about recently, we saw that a third India Central Asian dialogue which mainly held. So actually this India Central Asian dialogue which is mainly held annually. Okay, so this dialogue which mainly held among the ministers, and the first dialogue which held in 2019, right? And in 2020 India participated, right? So in India, Central Asian countries, they also signed high impact community development projects in 2020, and recently we came up with this third dialogue which held in December 2021. Okay, and during this dialogue they mainly focused on 4 C's. First one is regarding commerce, second one is regarding connectivity, next one is capacity building and contact. So these are the 4 C's which mainly focused on this recent dialogue. So if you're talking about trade between India and Central Asia, so the trade, it is around 2 billion US dollars, and the trade between China and Central Asian, it is around 100 billion. So we have a larger potential mainly to increase our trade with these Central Asian countries. So this is a gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding record weekly COVID cases. So WHO says that there is increasing of a number of cases, and there are about over 21 million new cases that are reported globally, and within this 1 week there is high number of increasing of cases, and this article says that deaths had been remain unchanged. So you can read this article. And next topic is about India probes China Vietnam over dumping of vinyl tiles. So what happened, we are importing vinyl tiles from China and as well as Vietnam. So whatever the price they are mainly providing for this vinyl tiles, which is very much less than compared to the products that we are producing in our country, that is domestic products. So because of this, it is mainly affecting this domestic production or domestic industries. So it mainly amounts under this dumping. So mainly to counter this, India will be imposing this anti-dumping duties. So you need to know about difference between anti-dumping duties and as well as countervailing duty. So already we discussed this topic number of times. You have to do revision. And next topic is regarding Russia hits out at West over threats of sanction on Putin. So this article which is mainly talking about actually the Russia and Ukraine crisis which is mainly going on. So because of this, US mainly threatens Russia regarding direct sanctions. Okay, so you can also refer this article. Okay, so these are some important articles that appear in this today's newspaper. And now let us try to see explanation part for yesterday's questions. So this question is about discontinuities. So if you have completed your NCERTs, you might be also seeing this image in your NCERT regarding different types of discontinuities. So if you're talking about Earth's internal structure, we are having different layers, like crust will be there, mantle will be there, and core will be there. So in crust we can see inner crust and as well as outer crust, and in mantle also we can see upper mantle and lower mantle, and in core we can see outer core and inner core. So between these layers we will be seeing some discontinuities. So here this question is regarding, you need to identify incorrect matched pair. So first one is Mohoric continuity that is present between core and mantle. So if you see this Mohoric discontinuity which is mainly present between crust and upper mantle. So first statement is incorrect. And second match here, it is regarding Gutenberg discontinuity. So if you say this Gutenberg discontinuity, it is mainly present between mantle and as well as core. It is given crust and mantle. So it is also incorrect pair. And if you are talking about this Conrad discontinuity, which is mainly present between upper and the lower crust, it is mainly between 15 to 20 kilometers from Earth's surface. So this third pair, it is correct. So you need to identify here incorrect pairs, that will be 1 and 2. So if you see this image, you can see here Conrad discontinuity is mainly seen between upper and lower crust. And after this Conrad discontinuity, we have this Mohoric discontinuity that is between crust and as well as mantle. And Reptid discontinuity, it is between upper and lower mantle. And Gutenberg discontinuity is between lower mantle and as well as outer core. And last one is Lehman discontinuity, it is between outer and as well as inner core. So this diagram is very important, and please try to make this type of diagrams. That will be very much helpful for your prelims revision. And next question is regarding Earth's interior and seismic waves. So this is regarding primary waves and secondary waves. So whenever earthquake is happening, so earthquake is happening means whenever there is a shaking of earth is happening, then the energy will be released. So that energy will be transmitted in the form of waves. So in these waves we will be seeing like body waves and as well as surface waves. So in body waves we have primary waves and secondary waves. In surface wave we have Love waves and Rayleigh waves. So this question is regarding body waves. Okay, So in body waves, I said we have primary and secondary waves. So these are the three statements regarding this primary waves and secondary waves. So first statement is regarding primary waves. Primary waves totally disappear in core region, revealing that outer core it is made up of solid. And secondary waves show changes in its speed as it travels from magma chamber to lithosphere region, indicating that there is difference in density. The speed of secondary waves is highest inside the earth core region, indicating that higher density in core region. So if you are talking about speed of this primary and secondary waves, primary waves are having very much speed than compared to that of secondary waves. So the name which is given that primary. So this third statement is absolutely incorrect. So you can eliminate this third statement. And if you see the first statement, it is regarding primary waves. So if you see this shadow region of this P waves and S waves, okay. So P waves and S waves, so this is S wave and this is P waves. So these P waves are longitudinal waves and they are very much fast moving than compared to that of the secondary waves. And these P waves, they can move in solids and as well as liquids. As you all know that inner core will be solid and outer core will be liquid. So these P waves will be moving in liquids and as well as solids. So here the waves will be moving, but whenever it is moving from one medium to another medium, from solid medium to liquid medium and liquid medium to solid medium, so whenever the waves are moving, there will be the refraction. So because of this, we can say this is a shadow region of P region. And if you are talking about this S wave, they are transverse wave and or slow moving wave, and they can travel only in solids. So as you all know that outer core which is mainly liquid, there is no waves that are mainly passing here. So we can say shadow zone of this S wave which is more compared to that of this P waves. So this first statement is also incorrect. So correct option will be 2 only. So this is the explanation part. And now let us try to see today's questions. So before seeing this today's questions, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. So if you want to clear this UPSC, I will strongly suggest you to join Prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing course that we are providing in this Rathod's IAS Academy. So in this Prelims test series, we are providing 30 tests which includes both CSAT and as well as GS. That will be helpful for analyzing purpose. And next one is mains answer writing course. So I want to say one thing strongly here is, if you want to clear UPSC and if you want to see your name in finalist, you need to focus on this mains. So mains, it is a deciding factor. It will make or break the deal to clear this UPSC. So here, already you know that within this 3 hours of time, you need to answer 20 questions. So you will be getting on average 7 to 7.5 minutes for one question. So to write answer for this question, to answer all these questions, you need to have perfection and you need to excel in this answer writing. You need to have good answer writing skills. So here we are providing this answer writing skills in this course. We will be giving you weekly targets of our syllabus of GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. And based on that weekly targets, we will be giving you one question daily. And you have to write answer. There will be evaluation. There will be one-to-one mentorship. And we will guide you in the path of achieving your good answer writing skills. And even we will provide you best answer and as well as we will give you model answer such that you will be also getting conceptual clarity. Okay, this will be helpful for your revision as well. And on Sundays, there will be essay or case study practice such that you are going to write 27 essays and 26 case studies in this course. And within 1 year, I will assure you that you will be completing entire your GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4 along with that year current affairs for sure. Okay, so this is about this course and new batch is going to be start from February 1st. So please join this course. This will be exclusively beneficial. Okay. And next one is we also launched this foundational course for UPSC 2023. So in this foundational course, there are updated video recorded classes with current affairs, and we are going to cover each and every topic from your syllabus, and we will be focusing on conceptual clarity that you can't find anywhere. Okay. So the foundational course is also very affordable. It is like 60,000 rupees for 1.5 years, and it also includes prelims test series and also mains answer writing. And there will be one-to-one mentorship. And next one is, if you want to take individual courses like economy, history, geography, science and technology, environment and ecology, you can take individual courses also. So we are also providing that option as well. So the details of this course are given in description box. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can call to this number 8074765513. Okay, I'm the Academy Director of this Rathod's IAS Academy, and you can 100% believe us. Okay, and one more thing is, if you want to download the app of Rathod's IAS, link is given in description box. And now let us try to see today's prelims practice questions. So first one, it is regarding seasons. So what are the causative factors for different seasons that we are experiencing? So first one is rotation of Earth on own axis. Next one is revolution of Earth, spherical shape of Earth, tilted axis, and axial parallelism. So you have to choose the correct code. And next one, it is about paleomagnetism. Paleomagnetism is nothing but past magnetism of Earth. So what is the important source of this paleomagnetism? How can you identify this paleomagnetism? By using or by studying different types of rocks. Already you know that we are having different types of rocks like igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. So through which rocks we can identify this paleomagnetism? So this is the demand of question. So by this I am concluding. So please try to answer these questions and let me know your suggestion whether can I post these questions in community as well or not. So by this I am concluding. So please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos, and don't forget to enroll to these courses, and I will be waiting for your calls. Thank you so much.